I would like to thank you so much for being hooked to the best online TV in Arua. Of course, we are here to see that we give you the best in terms of entertainment, in terms of sports, and I'm here for the sports. So right here, I'll be giving you the best, always the latest in terms of sports in there. Of course, I'll be looking into a number of sporting stories developing as far as the day is concerned. Of course, we shall be talking about the partnership deal that Ondupraka struck with the team of with the Berry cottages. Then we shall be looking at the ownership kind of setup at Ondupraka Football Club, and again we shall be talking about the Western Derby. Remember, I'll be connecting to Frank Roger down in Nebi Municipality as we shall be discussing what we call the game that Black Power did play against Nebi Football Club at Ebenezer Stadium down in Lira. Of course, Frank Roger was in attendance. Let me connect to Frank Roger and we discuss matters that actually transpired in that game before we talk about the derby itself on Sunday between Ondupraka Football Club and the team by the Black Angels. The game will be at Ababa Grand Stadium on Sunday, which I'll be discussing that into lengthy with Frank Roger. Of course, he is one of the most beautiful journalists that I have ever worked with. Of course, we shall be discussing that in length with Frank Roger. Of course, he is currently in the Nebi Municipality, and let's first connect to Frank Roger, and we discuss matters about that derby in the. Of course, my name is SNR Jeroh, the host of the show right here on SARARIGHTS TV. And as I connect to Frank Roger, of course, he is already online. Frank Roger.
Yes.
Man, it has been a while. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing fine. Now is Arua.
Arua is very, very brilliant.
We were supposed to have a downfall, but we did not have it with the rest of the sky is clear.
What happened? What happened?
The first thing is okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's first talk about the game that Nebi Football Club played against Black Power in Lira. How was the game generally?
First of all, thank you for asking me that kind of question. You know, it has not been an easy game. First of all, for us, the Western team, not all about Nebi Center, or by the Black and the Paraka.
Yes.
However, these Western teams, they move backward.
Yeah.
You see a different story. How many allegations you will make? First of all, the elimination. Prior to that game, look at the other game when by the Black and the Power. So, the same city. You saw how they were intimidated.
Yeah.
The CEO of the Black and were stopped from assessing the ground. They were going to pay 30,000. You could see those are the intimidation the Western teams are incurring or they are encountering. Then prior to the Central game against the team at Black Power, it was total madness. Like most of the fans of Team the Central knew that they are not going to get a maximum from there. Because when you look at the officiation part of it, the body, first of all, also, you know, I don't want to go into details of calling them, but the fact is that Black Power, they are pushing them to go to the certain Uganda Premier League.
Yeah.
In the caliber of the referee who handled the game, honestly, the first penalty was a clear penalty. And the second penalty was not the right penalty. And someone will ask me, do you have the evidence? Now, can they allow you to go and start taking a video there? You're taking a scenario which is happening. Can they allow you, like a sister in your travel from Bali, they can't allow you to go and start assessing and you start taking pictures. They know those are evidence.
Yeah.
But all in all, the officiation was very poor. The defender scored the clean goal. I was there, clean goal. And that goal was cancelled for them at the Berry. So you ask yourself, what the hell is this? Now, where are we going with this kind of football? Football is not that when you're at home, you must win. Let away team also come and play. Sometimes these something sometimes they are weak. Well, for example, last time on the Parana came to the center, they should have won all.
Yes.
And that was, and I also like now was happy with the display on the Paraka show.
Yes.
Let the best team win than someone putting his hand on the referee to squeeze the referee to do what they want. According to some they say the referee was just sent on mission to make sure Black Power wins the game. You see that? It was terrible, and there were a lot of backers the fans of Black Power attacked the fans of Nebicento after the goalkeeper of Nebicento, that is Onana, saved the penalty.
Yes.
And the fans were celebrating. This fan of Black Power, the team started attacking, beating the female fan. It was so bad, so awkward, very embarrassing. I wish I had the video. I would at least get that clip, then you play it back.
Yes.
That will allow you to contact it in the street where people, the fans are in that quarter.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was a poor station, the fans of Nebicento and the Gruta. And I talk about Gruta and I talk about from Tombutu. They were not happy. Some of them would cover.
Yes.
It was just unfair of station. I didn't expect the caliber of William Lawyer to do that, but you know, the bosses are sending on mission.
Okay.
To make sure this team to win the game. That was maybe the agenda to have. So, generally, the performance was not good, but even as West 19, we have been talking, you also have been talking, guys from radio parties, guys from where, what are our delegates doing? The likes of the they need to help us to come to the board and help us. Because when you go to the other side of Western, in Central Region, the crew say, me, I'll not go there. First of all, they don't even give me appointment to go in West 9.
Okay.
So, you think I like?
All right. Let's talk about the biggest game that will be happening on Sunday. As Ondupraka will be hosting Southern Ghana Premier League Dreamers. I'm talking about team by the Black Angels. What are you expecting in this West Night Derby?
Yeah, thank you so much. That's a nice question. Yeah, that's going to be a biggest encounter. Both sides are fighting for their life. When you look at the home team, currently they are sitting number 9 with that is 4 points.
Yes.
They have 2 games to play, whereas the team which is fighting for the top flight, that is by the Black, the number 5 with the 43 points. And I know it's going to be a tough game. When you look at the Paraka, they're fighting to remain into the Super Big League. Whereas by the Black Angels, they're fighting to go to Uganda Premier League. It's going to be a tough encounter when you look at the first league ended in favor of team that is like the Black Angel. And right now, the Paraka want to revenge back to bring the tribe and to bring the what you call the bragging rights. It's going to be a tough encounter. But emotion, there's a lot of emotion for both fans because I meant to know the fans of the Black Angel are also coming in a huge number.
Yes.
I know the top probably today they're having the fans meeting of team that is by the Black Angel for preparation so that game which is remaining. That's how it that's remaining. But I know it's going to be a big game, but what I just say, let the match official handle the game well. Let both sides accept that yes, I've been defeated the right way. Let's also find the effect in case the result which may come that Sunday. Let them accept whereas the home side of the Paraka, let them also accept the result. But you know, football also is a game of contact. Sometimes it might bring players, on the other side it might not be. But like me, who knows of football a little bit, I say that let the game end well. But I know both sides are having much pressure. Because this yesterday, I remember talking with the player on the Paraka, that is Bona Owen. He told me they are preparing very well and they needed that 3 points desperately to help them to remain in the league.
Now,
whereas by the Black Angel also too, their Piero, Francis also told me like that they need something which can rejuvenate them to go back to the second Uganda Premier League.
But Frank Roda, between these two teams, according to you, sorry about that, Frank Roda has gone offline, and we will continue with that discussion probably on another day, of course. Today is still Tuesday, and this game will be played on Sunday between Ondupraka Football Club and team by the Black Angels. I don't want to go much into that. Of course, tomorrow I'll be connecting to the marketing officer. I'm talking about Football Owen, aka Love D. Of course, he's a very, very good friend of mine. Of course, we shall be discussing that in length with him regarding that actual game that Ondupraka will be playing on Sunday in there. So I'm here to know how much is the gate fee. Of course, derbies are always derbies. I'm expecting the gate fee to be 10,000 ordinary and 20,000 VIP. That's what I'm anticipating. Of course, Ondupraka desperately needs this game in what you call it, in a merciless affair. Okay, Paida as well in a merciless affair also needs maximum point to see that they also look for ways of attaining promotion back to the Southern Ghana Premier League. But it's gonna be a hard hard game to actually to taste for the two teams. Of course, these are the biggest clubs in West Nile. Of course, Ondupraka and the team like the Black Angels, they always have got the bragging rights when it comes to playing games in the region. Of course, like the Black Angels have the Lions here of the advantage. Of course, they have dominated the derby more than any other team. Okay, when it comes to Western Derby, they have beaten all the Western Giants more than another team. Okay, that's like the Black Angels for you. They've beaten Ondupraka more. They've beaten Team Calvary more. They've beaten Team Nebisendru more. When it comes to the Western Derby, give what you call respect to Team like the Black Angels. I'm not actually saying that they'll be coming here at the Abba Grand Stadium to come and win this game against Ondupraka Football Club, but history also speaks louder in the game of football. So let's talk still about Ondupraka. Of course, recently the team has the team announced a partnership deal with Berry Cottages. Of course, this was unveiled at the hotel itself down in Iwata. Of course, this was some of the deals that the team kinda raised in there. Of course, their partnership was kinda very effective one since last weekend. Of course, that it is actually spoke volume about Berry Cottages and the marketing team of Ondupraka Football Club. Of course, I need to give credit to Owen Zaga's agency. Of course, his marketing agency is doing something very influential for this great team. Lavdi was there with this team of Ondupraka Football Club as the PRO. He resigned. Walter took over. Walter resigned. Then Lavdi actually was called back to come and assist in that manner. But when he came in, when things were very worse for team on the Football Club, when he came in, he ionized some of the issues here and there. He brought in new ideas. He created new initiative. He created a new group for marketing purposes. He also organized what we call a charity concert show at Albert Grand Stadium. That really speaks volume about his credibility, about the love of the game for the team, about the love of the game for West Nile region. This is a team that was actually grappling seriously when it comes to financial issues. This is Ondupraka Football Club for you. And Owen, through his agency, really did something that no one expects in West Nile. But I can tell you, Ondupraka, they are now somehow very stable when it comes to finances. Okay? This kind of partnership was signed for a 1 year. It took effect on Saturday last week. You understand? So in this partnership, Berry Cottages is supposed to have what we call financial support. It's supposed to give what we call financial support to this great team. I'm talking about Ondupraka Football Club. Okay? This financial support is supposed to cater for the players' allowances during match days, the 18-man squad. But remember, Ondupraka does not have players above 18 on the starting lineup. That's Ondupraka Football Club for you. But it's quite sad that the team that has got a number of players in the system are less on the starting lineup. Sometimes Ondupraka has 2 players, 3 players on the bench. But I don't know how this will be working out. But in the agreement, it is a 18-man squad. Of course, it's still a 1-year contract or partnership with Berry Cottages. So it's yet to be seen how this will be implemented until next season. Of course, we're craving so much that Ondupraka remains in the big league. They have got a tough game against the Black Angels to play on Sunday. Ondupraka must win that game for their faith to be alive to play games again in the big league. Let's first connect to Frank Roger again. I see he's calling seriously. Let's first connect to him again. Frank Roger.
Yes, hello?
Yes, please, Frank Roger.
Yes.
Sorry for the inconveniences caused.
Yeah, it's okay. You were asking me about prior to that was meant that the between Ondupraka and teams like the Black Angels. So I think it's going to be a big game for both sides. As I remember telling you earlier, both sides are looking for something to compete for, whereas the side of Ondupraka, they are looking for something to at least help them to remain the league. Whereas by the Black Angels are fighting that this season mission Uganda Premier League. Right now, as I talk, all that is the motto and the say the people right now are talking.
Frank Roger,
Yes.
I want to talk about the issue of club ownership in West Nile. This is just because just yesterday there was a news that broke out about the ownership of clubs in West Nile, and to be specific, it was about the Football Club. The club in the recent times has been seen as a community-based club. But when FIFA released the official ownership of the clubs in West Nile, particularly about the Football Club, you realize that they are real owners in that team of the Football Club. Benjamin Nyakuni holds 40% of the shares in that team of the Football Club, much as it has been given to the fans. Then Munduru Masi also holds 40% of the shares. They're in the same family with Benjamin Nyakune, okay? Then Joe Erima also holds 20% of the share. So when you add all these shares, it is 100% owned by these three people. But this club has been given to the community, something that I felt like is done maybe just to do what we call manangas around the fans. Are these three people trying to confuse West Nile in a way that they are benefiting more in this club than any other person in West Nile, according to you?
I think according to the analysis that this is the same with it, to some extent I would agree with them, but to some extent I would not agree. Because when you look at the defensive as the Black Area on the Paracadiza club, the owners of this club are fans. Like for the defensive, I'm quite sure I'd agree, because it's a natural person like for us in the defensive. We'll talk about the defensive a little bit. There's a gentleman with the name of Sean the Upgrade. 50%, with the defender, 100% I agree. Because this is a guy that has been at the help from the team of defender from the what? From regional league, the FIFA big league playoff up to now is giving. And even the fans were not even yelling about, because for sure, he has that share, that's 40%. Then we talk about Shakun in first half also too. He had 15% last season. He managed to build the Jazz right now, the center using the Super Big League. He managed to play from the other side of Goferedo side of Ethiopia. So there is nothing much about you can talk about the other man called the first. And then we have Ostap Robert. This is also having 15%. And then this is a guy who has been giving money to help these players, like buying the player, negotiating, and then also we have Osama Alise. He's a big man with a handle in the plastic to call plastic in Libya. One of the biggest plastic we have in Libya. So he has been also helping in the defender. With the same class and 2 million, 1 million. So that is true. Then lastly we have a man called this is another gentleman who have been running. The team in the defender. So for the defender, yesterday after them seeing it on the class of they agreed. None of the fans were making a lot of noise that no, it's a club. No, it's a community-based club. Let's talk about teams from the Paraka. From the Paraka, I don't know, to some extent, I would agree, that also, most time around on the Paraka, they're struggling financially. Traveling away, you see even on their platform, fans are the one outside to generate. I remember the saga when the fans came in storm, the management had to sit down and leave the club in the hands of the fans. That will tell you that to some extent, from the Paraka could be, but I don't know more story about it. But I believe that from the Paraka, this could not be right, but to some extent could be right, because right now, FIFA have expelled this community club. They want the club to be owned by someone. Like 100% we have Agri, that is the guy who is behind the scene. Whenever financially traveling away, he could help with the other stakeholders before. Then when you look at the team like the Black Angel, for sure by the Black Angel, it's a little bit pity, but they have gentlemen who are running behind them. That's why they did not put the share. We talk about what Emmanuel Commit, also one of the sponsors of City, and the Black Angel, we have Omega Innocent, this was Colomb, one Bill Kenneth, that's the current person, Okonjuro Andrew Okomogabo, that is the MP for Zombo, and then Udong Agro. Those are the gentlemen behind that black as a focus. The limited 80% is a community-based club, just 20% should go to these gentlemen named and just mentioned there. That's what I can tell you.
Okay. Frank Roger, let's talk about the rumors internationally, smaller a little bit.
What?
Let's first talk about the managerial position at Chelsea Football Club. According to ESPN, Xabi Alonso and Burama Fatuda, head coach I'm talking about, Antonio Iriola, they are in pole position to become the next Chelsea manager. According to the sources that I'm getting in, Chelsea are saying they want a high-profile manager to come and coach this team. In there, between Antonio Iriola and Xabi Alonso, whom will you prefer for Chelsea Football Club?
I think Xabi Alonso will not manage the team of Premier League.
Yeah.
But I don't know Iriola could manage that. First time around, you see, for example, when you look at Chelsea, you look at the season when this man, the name is that is who was at Team Brighton, the name is keeping of my mind.
Graham Potter. Graham Potter.
Graham Potter.
Yes.
Remember Chelsea hired him from Team Brighton, paying his contract which he had with the Team Brighton. When he joined Chelsea, things became heavy for him.
Okay.
But I don't know whether have that practice of beating big boys like the way Graham Potter also had it. But also too, I would not allow that Iriola also to join Team Chelsea because Team Chelsea Football Club will also be big for him. Containing pressure. Look at the scenario Graham Potter had with the Brighton. When we said Brighton beating those big teams, but when he joined Chelsea, things became opposite.
Yeah.
So I would suggest if right now the man Pep can hear me, let them go to a mature coach like the step of the man we are talking about, that is this coach of Atletico de Madrid, Diego Simeone, the test of Premier League. Chelsea can go for there's so many coaches. You talk about this coach of Stima, that is Juventus, Martina lately.
Yeah.
That Canada can be okay. And going the visa, coaches who are coming from underdog teams, they can perform very well with the underdog team because the player will understand the philosophy, their style. But you're coming to the big club where they're demanding a lot. And for Iriola, he was concentrating on one league, Premier League. Whereas you're coming to Chelsea, for example, maybe we'll be having Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, another league like Europa League. How are you going to manage those leagues? So for me, I would suggest Chelsea should go to a well-tried and tested coach instead of Diego Simeone or Martina lately. Chelsea can go for this coach, the team that is his name is on my mind, that is the coach of team that is Napoli. But now it's gone. But so many coaches Chelsea can go for.
Now,
I don't know really.
Now,
the man that is that you cannot manage the best of Premier League. That's what I can tell you.
how about Cesc Fabregas?
Okay, Cesc Fabregas is good. I would agree. Yeah, that's another conquer coach, whereby you can understand. You play the league, you know the type of league. First of all, Fabregas will come like Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
Because I remember when Pep Guardiola was joining Premier League, he took a paper to help him, to tell him how the type of team are playing. Like for example, you are going to play team like let me say this, how to lead the play. You are going to face Everton. How do Everton play? So the player that could help Pep Guardiola. So Pep Guardiola, you know, Premier League very well. He played with the Arsenal. He played with Chelsea. He played with a good coach, with the Arsene Wenger. He played with Jose Mourinho with Team Chelsea. And I think, for me, Cesc Fabregas can be the right man as to what because you know the philosophy of the team. He understands the type of the team Chelsea play like. Omega Social is now understanding the philosophy of United. If you bring something because they know the philosophy of the team, you're going to bring his own style where you will not understand. Because that Amorim is coming with the back three, then you're putting 4 midfield and a 3 forward. And the team is not giving good results to the fans. Even the picture of Manchester United was not that Manchester United which could belong to the heyday glory. So for me, I would suggest the best coach could be Cesc Fabregas. the run and by 2-0. You know, they will come 2 or 3 players who out as 50-50. And also, Chelsea, they would understand that, okay, let's start this guy. He has been our boss, he has been our office. And I know Chelsea is not a disciplined club like Real Madrid, where the players are disciplined, they respect the respecter, that they are also, they are giving instructions to the dressing room. These players like keep telling them, you need to do it. Someone is still telling that it's building.
Yes.
Someone is criticizing youngsters. So me on the suggest Chelsea can go with the first of the guys because he knows the league. Once I believe when he joins Chelsea, he will bring either John Tory to come and help him. He will bring some of the legend of Steve James to come and help him. Like when you look at Harris is Darren Placer with him. He's having some guys who have been working with the England national team who are helping him.
Steve.
So those of actually called could help him very well.
Those of Steve are there with Michael Carrick.
Exactly.
Okay, Frank, let's first talk about Liverpool. Liverpool, this is a team in the last 5 years, a team that has been consistent, and this time around the team is struggling. And Ancelotti, what's happening at Anfield?
Yeah, I think Ancelotti going to Liverpool, a lot of things are hard to say that in Liverpool. Liverpool, we have never seen them spending like 100 and something on a player.
Yes.
Look at look at the under the man that is Jurgen Klopp. When he joined Liverpool, what he did, he went to this underdog team, the small newspaper team. They talk about Southampton, where he took Van Dijk from, where he picked up the man, Sadio Mane from, and some other clubs within Premier League. He could not spend a lot of cash. We could see him flashing around 7 to 6. The biggest money which Jurgen Klopp spent was on Virgil van Dijk, around 76 million pounds. The biggest after he stayed on the defendant Premier League after Maguire broke that record after season when Alexander started the social game. Liverpool, the man Ancelotti, for sure, Liverpool have not been performing. We are going to play Alexander Isak with something. You got this man playing with from the other team of Liverpool and also in the youth side. We talk about this one, Peppers from Team Denmark. So many players report the system is not pushing the type of football. Liverpool could play to the heyday glory of Captain Cook. For sure, it's no longer existing. And when you look at the way it's what is, I think not doing Liverpool is on. The system already being set. Using the legacy of the man that is Jurgen Klopp, who have already set that legacy. Some of the players. For me, after Liverpool had lost the man that is Luis Diaz and also the death of Diego Jota, for sure, there was nothing. Even if right now you see there's nothing which can put more pressure on Liverpool in the form. Because we have only one man that is Netherlands man, Cody Gakpo. The one guy, I remember Salah right now, age is also casting, and Ancelotti also stressing me that we should go, so many things. So right now, even I thought that forward of Team Liverpool is not the forward which you could remember. And those years of Luis Diaz, Diego Jota, and also losing Sam Alexander-Arnold also has been another huge blow from Team Liverpool to Real Madrid.
Now,
what I can say, Ancelotti has failed the system of Team Liverpool.
Okay. Let's talk about Mo Salah. Of course, he confirmed that he will be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. How big will his absence be for this team of Liverpool Football Club? Of course, we have all seen that he has scored a number of goals in the Premier League for the club, and he has broken a lot of records for this team of Liverpool Football Club. How big will this be for Liverpool in the services of Mo Salah at the Anfield?
Yeah, eventually Liverpool are going to be missing the service of Mohamed Salah for sure. He has been that this, we know very well. You know how he dribble, you know how he carry defenders and took them into the back of their net. So Liverpool are going to be missing him several times. Even if Liverpool decide, because there are so many rumors are coming that probably Liverpool are eyeing Michael Olise to be possible gentleman. The summer referring that Salah is a classic. Is a classic. This is the guy we know him whenever things are bad. But people financing, so many things have been helping Liverpool in terms of counter-attack. But right now, as I said, Liverpool is main service of Mohamed Salah. Even though they go for other players, they talk about the man Michael Olise as the senior, as the time target for him, and so many players. Look at the service of Luis Diaz. as soon as those guys left Liverpool, Liverpool fans were not happy. The player was demanding some money. The Fenway group of companies who are behind Liverpool refused to increase. And then we had to come in. You know what? They're going to give you 260 million, 250 pounds. They don't want to accept nothing because they refuse the contract. And then we look at the same scenario with the Trent Alexander-Arnold, also the same saga on Raya. And also this man right now, the Freedom Connected, we are just having only just 1 month counting down for his contract to come to an end probably on the first for this month.
No.
So I think for Liverpool, Mohamed Salah, they are going to be missing him a lot.
No.
So good thing, so marvelous thing he has done with the team, that is Liverpool. Even, it's also a part of life. Let him also go and look for money in Saudi Arabia. So, all very different.
Exactly. But Frank Roger, before you go offline, let's talk about the title race. Whom do you think is going to be clinching the Premier League gonga this season around? Is it Arsenal who are the current table toppers, or is Manchester City?
I think that when you look at the 2 games remaining tomorrow, we shall have a game between that is the Manchester City. Will welcome Crystal Palace the 10th game.
Yes.
And I know if tomorrow they win that game, Man City will be having 7 points, different of 2 points. Automatically, should Arsenal win their game on Monday, probably they're playing on Monday against Southampton Burnley. Probably now they'll be having difference of what that is 5 points.
Yes.
Because Man City will play tomorrow if they win. Man City will play earlier on weekend before them.
Yes.
So probably not so bad. Man City now that lost the game.
Yes.
I remember the game they played against Everton 3-3.
Yes.
Still I remember what David Moyes saying, my boys need all this for his son. That is Mikel Arteta.
Yes.
And he says he will feel happy when he sees his son winning the trophy, winning the silverware with the team Ghana after 22 years. And also prior to that game against Everton has become tough. Moyes went back to the dressing room, he told his boys, that's my boys, for my man, that is Mikel Arteta, I need this game. If you can make a draw, it's okay. You look at the thing is that the man that David Moyes made. I think for Man City, and the people who are following up on SARARIGHTS TV right now, Arsenal team, this is their season. They're going to take the trophy. There's nothing similar that is the team Burnley would respect them. That's why when you look at that game against West Ham, the team came out often with something that was Darren England who was inside the player.
Yes.
And the man that is Pete Kavanagh. I did not been the them. That was already a contest because Man City would play tomorrow. Then after playing tomorrow, they will be tied up in the points. That probably could be 79, 79, 77.
Yeah.
But right now, as I talk, they're having 79 Arsenal, then Man City 70. So different 5 points. Then Man City are going to be winning again tomorrow. Hopefully with the Crystal Palace. I don't think Crystal Palace is giving them hard time. Because Crystal Palace, their mindset now on 27, when they will take on team that Raul Vallecano in the UEFA Conference League.
Yeah.
When need Man City to beat them, they are not going to lose anything. For them, their mind out on the 7th game that's coming against that is Raul Vallecano. With the question you ask me, I've already said the season already done. After Man City 14 points against Team Everton, then Arsenal 15 West Ham. That was the decider for Team Arsenal because we knew that was the toughest picture. And even the coach of West Ham Nunes, for instance, and there was a noise after VAR cancelling the goal. And most time around for sure, Jero Arsenal have been scoring goals and set pieces. Look at the game between Manu, where we took the leader. Also holding the shoulder of Isaiah Bandire. The VAR refused to intervene. They said that was a tough call. Most of the team were complaining on that goal of the man that is Winston, which was cancelled against West Ham. But that was a fault. It was a clear fault, but Arsenal have been scoring goals like that. VAR cannot intervene. And you know the Premier League are also funny. Once you are on the table, they will favor you. No matter what, they will give you those funny penalties. I remember the year when Liverpool took that after so many years, and also Manchester City, now they are favor. So it's the same thing, even in all leagues, once we are on the table, the referee also go with the mission to make sure you don't go empty-handed. At least you need to perfect something except so for Arsenal, I think this is their season.
All right.
Their season, there's nothing that which can stop them. They are here after 22 years.
Frank Roger. How long is it from Nebi to Ware?
how long from Lady to what?
Yes.
There is a huge kilometer, probably could be around 40. Because from Lady to Paida is 21 kilometers.
Yes.
So from Paida to what there could be around 35 or 40. That is it.
Okay.
35 kilometers.
Okay. As I talk on Friday, I'll be in Wari.
You've been here?
I'll be in Wari.
What are you going to do there?
We shall be broadcasting some event there. We shall be swearing in the district cade of Zombo.
And okay, no problem. Okay.
Yeah.
Probably on Sunday we shall meet. My last step.
You'll be here in Arua on Sunday?
Now on Sunday I'm coming to witness that day.
Now if you are coming to Arua on Sunday, I'm sure I'll be giving for one t-shirt of SARARIGHTS TV. You will be one of the most appreciative guys that I've ever come across, and we shall be having for you one t-shirt here at the TV, and you get it at Gulen Stadium.
Okay, no problem. Pleasure having you also, and also our viewer, and also our thing to add right about now.
All right, thanks so much.
Okay, thank you too.
Okay, that's Frank Roger, one of the most authentic journalists from Greater Alub sub-region in there. And let's first discuss about the game itself, and we go straight into the world of transfers. Of course, the biggest one is three Premier League clubs, including Liverpool, Newcastle United, Everton, are targeting West Ham forward. I'm talking about John Bowen, 29, if West Ham United avoid relegation. Of course, West Ham United, Tottenham Hotspur, these are two great traditional clubs in England, and one of them may get relegated, and the race is in between the two clubs. Which one will be getting that as well relegation anchor remains to be seen. But when you look at things, it looks like Spurs might be my favorite candidate to get relegated from the Premier League. That's according to me. Of course, I have known how tough West Ham United is. It has been a while that team Tottenham Hotspur has been relegated from the Premier League to the Championship. It has been a while, but team West Ham United has been there before. Okay, when you look at the history, the last time West Ham United was relegated was way back, and Tottenham Hotspur was relegated just midway through. So it is evident to me that this team might be relegated. That's the team I'm talking about. Tottenham Hotspur might be relegated if the team is not really serious about winning the remaining games of theirs in the Premier League. I'm already into the transfer gossip in the Juventus. I considered a loan move for Chelsea forward. I'm talking about Nicolas Jackson, the Senegal international 24, is currently on loan at Bayern Munich, but will not stay at the German champions next season. Of course, Bayern say that they are not going to be renewing his contract, or they are not going to be signing him on a permanent basis. And Nicolas Jackson at Chelsea, he was really ruled actually as a surplus to requirement. He was not be given that actual playing time regularly. Of course, when he was given the opportunity to play in, he was not firing the goals for fun at Chelsea Football Club. So Chelsea thought it very, very well. They needed to give him out for a team to go and play in, and they gave him to Bayern Munich. At Bayern Munich, Bayern are saying they are not going to be signing Nicolas Jackson on a permanent basis. Something that I felt I need to let you know. This is according to Bill in Germany. Liverpool are considering always they are interested in signing Monaco 24-year-old right wing. I'm talking about Magnus. Of course, the French international is valued at £43 million. So it remains to be seen whether Liverpool will be signing this guy in that perspective. Of course, he's a winger. Maybe they're looking at him as a darling replacement for Mohamed Salah. It remains to be seen whether Liverpool will be signing him. Of course, they are considering signing him together with his teammate. I'm talking about Lamine Camara. Of course, they are also saying they want to sign the 22-year Senegal midfielder to come and play at Anfield. This is according to L'Equipe down in France. Of course, Real Madrid will be likely. Real Madrid will likely need to sell players before bringing in any other new features with Spain midfielder. I'm talking about Dani Ceballos, 29, among those the club is willing to offload. Okay, Aurelio Tchouameni is one of them. Valverde is one of them. And then they are not already talked about Dani Ceballos. Then Eduardo Camavinga has been the talking point in some point. So it remains to be seen whether Real Madrid will be in position to allow some of their key players leave in that perspective. Of course, West Ham, I'll put a price tag of around £84 million on a 21-year-old Portugal midfielder. I'm talking about Matthias Fernandes. Of course, this guy has been a fantastic player for West Ham United, and this team is currently grappling with the relegation threats, and it remains to be seen whether West Ham United will be selling him. In case West Ham remains in the Premier League, it's going to be a very, very lucrative deal for him, because this guy has been so influential in that midfield of team West Ham United, doing a lot of magic for the team. As far as the team is struggling, he always raises to the occasion and puts that excellent performance for the team. I'm talking about West Ham United and Manchester United and Paris Saint-Germain. They already been linked with the services of this player. I'm talking about Matthias Fernandes, 21. Of course, West Ham said if any club wants him, the club has to pay around £84 million, which is a very huge money. Assuming West Ham gets relegated to the championship and they get this money can be injected in the transfer market. Probably they could be signing some of the biggest players to see that they attain promotion back to the Premier League in case they get relegated. I'm not saying that the team has been relegated, okay? So it remains to be seen what will be happening in that perspective. Of course, Manchester United are considering a move for Atalanta and Brazil midfield. I'm talking about Anderson, 26, who could be available for a region, who could be available for around £40 million. This is according to Manchester Evening News. As Barcelona manager Hans Flick has agreed a new contract running until 2028, with an option to extend for a further year. This is according to Mundo Deportivo. Those who were expecting Hans Flick is finally at Barcelona tied into a new contract. Finally, Manchester United are expected to be busy in the transfer window, as the club is targeting 5 new signings, including 3 scheduled midfielders and a left back, not forgetting a striker. This is according to The Sun. I'm out of here. Let's meet again tomorrow in what we call the Sports Desk Show. Again tomorrow, I'll be here to come and discuss with you a number of some of the activities that will be